Okay, so the channel has now passed 1,370 subscribers. I want to say a massive thank you to all the support you guys continue to give day in, day out. All the long-term subscribers. We've now got channel members. We've had some super thanks. So we're starting to earn some revenue, and it is a step closer to that 2,000 subscriber forfeit challenge kind of thing. Now, for newer subscribers who recently subscribed to the channel, I've done a video on this football club rivalry. Now, I'm a Blackburn Rovers fan. Our major rivals are Burnley. When we hit 2,000 subscribers, I have to wear a Burnley shirt in a live stream. How I'm going to acquire a Burnley kit of any age is going to be very interesting because I don't particularly want to pay full price for a Burnley jersey, to be honest, because that is not a cheap venture. Because replica kits and authentic replicas are bloody expensive, and even second-hand ones are exceptionally expensive on eBay, as I've seen. So I've got to find a Burnley kit from somewhere that's affordable, because merchandise prices, sports merchandise prices, are ridiculous, quite honestly. Now, as I say, for those newer subscribers, I've done a video on the rivalry, and I've mentioned this on every channel update that I've done in regards to subscriber milestones. Other news, we've started to earn some revenue. We've had some super thanks, super chats, and recurring memberships, so revenue's starting to come in. We haven't quite reached the payout threshold for our first payout from YouTube, but we are now starting to earn some revenue, which is really nice to see. And there will be more members videos going up on the members tab. So if you are interested in becoming a member, hit the join button, which should be in the bar down below. It'll be nice to see more of you become members, so you get different content that may not just be sport related. It could be some behind the scenes stuff, or just general, more kind of the human side of things, because obviously we discuss a lot of sport on this channel. So it'll be a bit more relaxed kind of atmosphere on the members side of things. And if we get enough members, then we'll do members only live streams at some point. The difficulty is with that is I've got obviously subscribers and viewers from all around the world. To try and find a time slot where as many of you as possible can watch is always tricky. Even if you look at my general live streams, I generally do a live stream about 6 PM UK time. It seems to work reasonably well, but I feel that, especially with those viewers from Australia and New Zealand and Southeast Asia, for example, that it's difficult for them. On the same token, it's also can be difficult from viewers from North and South America, especially those on the West Coast, which is 8 hours behind the UK. So I try and do it around 6 PM, sometimes a bit earlier, just to make it more accessible for you guys. Now, other news, NRL. An NRL Grand Final, obviously, both those Grand Finals take place tomorrow in Sydney, Australia. The future of the NRL and NRL Grand Finals remaining in Sydney is up for debate. There's been reports coming out that the NRL are looking at potentially playing the Grand Final in Melbourne from 2025. So it's a very open-ended question whether the NRL Grand Final will remain in Sydney. We have to keep an eye on those developments. The NRL are sort of considering taking the Grand Final potentially on the road, similar to the Super Bowl in the NFL in the US. So we'll see what happens there, but a lot of fans aren't really keen on the idea. Some fans are, because it does help grow the footprint of the game domestically in Australia and New Zealand. But it'll be interesting to see if the NRL does decide to put the Grand Final up for tender for different cities around Australia and New Zealand, like Auckland, like Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Canberra, Brisbane, whatever it may be, Wellington in New Zealand. It could be interesting if they do decide to take it on the road, considering there's only a limited amount of stadiums that can host the Grand Final for capacity. So that's an interesting one. Watch this space. We've also got the upcoming end of season Rugby League internationals later this month and into November. Can New Zealand retain their Pacific Championship? I mean, they did fantastically well with Michael Maguire as head coach, that record-breaking win against Australia. But now Stacey Jones has got to step in. And also the Kalen Ponga selection controversy when he ruled himself out and now he's available, threats of suspension. Personally, I think there's better fullbacks than Kalen Ponga in the NRL who can represent Australia. So we'll see if he does get selected in that squad that will play those test matches. There's also a lot of players out injured and suspended who would have otherwise been eligible to represent all the nations involved with the end of season test matches. Both for England and Samoa and in the Pacific Nations Cup kind of tournament that the NRL are organising. It will be interesting to see who gets selected for what nation and strength of squads, and hopefully it's as good a quality as what we saw at the end of last season, which was a fantastic, some fantastic international rugby league played. And so they're the things to look forward to. And then, of course, we've got the FA Cup coming up when the first round of the FA Cup proper comes up. There may be some qualifying rounds that are also shown on TV as well. But the FA Cup proper starts in a couple of months. And then we have the European football transfer window, which will be quite interesting. I can also see some managers losing their jobs. Eric Ten Hag, for example, is one of the managers under the spotlight right now, considering they have a bad result against Villa, considering Villa won in midweek in Europe. Man United drew and got lucky to get a draw against Porto. Will be very, very interesting. So we'll have to keep an eye on developments at Old Trafford. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. It's more of a little update video, but thank you very much for all the support you guys and girls continue to give. The channel's growing really nicely. View counts are pretty good. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. I will have some more content for you guys very, very soon.